check something. I think this thing is working. Let me make sure. Yes. Facebook have a new format when you do broadcasts, so I have to familiarize myself with it. They even went, I logged on a few minutes ago and I saw where Facebook had went to a new screen. They give you a screen where instead of the light screen that we all accustomed to, we can look at a dark background. And then they changed the different icons and things that you can click on. And it was almost confusing for me to look at it. So I'm gonna make a few adjustments. So let me do one thing before I get started. Do 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 do. Okay, what is that? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Taking this time to load. Come on. Hope I have to log off and log back on. Come on. I apologize for this. Let's see. Come on. This is something I couldn't play with when I'm on. You have to be online to do this, so I have to check. Okay, let me go. It's a pleasure to be before everyone today. Thank you. Welcome to my. Been a while since I did a live Facebook broadcast, so I decided to do another one and throw out some interesting facts that you may not be aware of, have never heard, and it should be intriguing to make you go, make you think. So I thought about it, and I was saying maybe I need to give a little history about me. Of course, I'm a black male. Kidding, just kidding, not kidding. You see that already. But why did I do what I do? Because I perceived all my life that I had a purpose in life. Yes, I have gone astray as I was growing up, doing things to please myself, satisfying myself, looking this way, that way, not really focusing on my true, being my true purpose in life. Then you may not realize this, but when I was growing up, I used to stutter when I would speak word like shrimp, stress, street, straight, those, these, that kind of thing. So I would write down pre-planned questions when I was young, and I didn't want to be doing that in front of people. So I would keep my clothes, write down my words and thoughts, and limit my conversation with anyone. Then I went into writing and wanted to be a songwriter. Then I started writing books, and then my true style came out because I can look at things and bring forth interesting points that make you go, I like what I saw and what you read. So I was thinking, we all have a purpose in life. It doesn't, it has, let me say it this way. Your purpose in life is different from mine. We should not seek other people's approval to agree or to disagree that what we are choosing to do is not for us. You know deep within you what you're made for, or created for, or your purpose in life. In doing so, you will shed yourself away from friends that don't want to be a part of you. And I recall when I was growing up, because of my speech impediment, I didn't read any books because if it didn't, my saying was, if the book didn't have no pictures, I didn't want to read the book. Then I thought about it as I got older and said, wow, if someone wanted to hide something from me, they could put it in a book. Then I start researching and, you know, studying and investigating and researching and reading and looking at things. Not because one would say, if it doesn't pertain to me directly, I don't need to know that. But what about the indirect things that you need to know that can affect your life in the future? So I thought about it. I said, wow, we all need to wake up from being asleep because things can capture us, take us over, and we don't even know what happened. So I thought about it. I said, wow, we as individuals need to wake up to the truth. You and I know that 1 plus 1 is 2. Some people will have you to believe that 1 plus 1 is 3. What they think, what they feel, what they believe, what's in it for them, and how they can benefit from it. And should they help you, or and if they help you, are they going to get something in return from helping you? So I thought about it. I said, why should it be that way? Why should it be where we have to help people first in order to get something in return from them? It ought not to be. It should be, I'm going to help this person because it's the best, it's the kind thing to do. It's the best thing to do because I feel that I'm in a position that I can help them with my resources, whether it's money, information, or even point them in the right direction. So it's good to help people and don't have to expect anything out of it. It's not about a black thing or white thing or a male thing or a female thing or gender or who are you and all this other kind of stuff. No, it's about doing the right thing. And I did a message. I can't remember when I did it. I did a series. I call it Deja Vu because I was thinking one time. I was thinking the other day. Deja vu. You ever experience something that you think you experience it, or you write something and you see it come to pass? You wonder where it come from, the information. And I've been listening to the news over the last maybe 2, 3 months. The pandemic, the rioting, the looting, the pulling down of statues, and people are expressing their opinion. People are being blinded even though they can see. People's ears are stopped up even though they can hear. People are being driven by their emotions. They're not thinking analytically. They're not thinking objectively. They're not thinking all about me. This is what I want. This is what I want. And when someone come across their path to speak the truth, they get mad and say, "Oh no, I don't want to accept anything that you said." Because it doesn't add up to 1 plus 1 is 3. Because you know that 1 plus 1 is 2. They want to talk to you from a position of what I think, what I feel, what I want, what I believe, and that's not good. So that's a little history pertaining to myself. So my series of messages that I have posted on Facebook called Thoughts in the AM. Thoughts in the AM. They are spontaneous messages that a thought will come in my mind. I will write down something. I don't have a book sitting around where I just write the stuff out. All those are my original thoughts that I put up on Facebook because it's very interesting and it should cause people to think. Whether an individual read it or comment, that's totally up to them. I would like to read the comment, but then that's totally up to them to want to write a comment. And I feel that some people don't want to comment on the things that I post because they don't want their friends see that they agree with me and they understand that they want to remain back in the shadow. But if I remain back in the shadow, then what will I accomplish? How can I help someone? And which leads to this particular before the foundation, the creation of Black Lives Matter, the organization which established itself in October, 2013, I was a police officer back then, and I wrote a book I wrote a thing called "From the Eyes of a Cop, Black Lives Matter." From the eyes of a cop, Black Lives Matter. It has a catchy title, but you think you know what it is because the title is almost like a giveaway, but it's not really a giveaway because that's just how I write. And I sat on it because I was hearing all this stuff about police officers doing this, police officers doing that. And I said, no, Anthony, you don't even want to be involved. You don't even want to express your opinion. Let somebody else do it. And then I kept hearing it over and over and over. And I said, you know what? Maybe I can make a difference in one person's life. Maybe I can share stuff that they may not be aware of. They may not understand. And I just thought about this might be a part one, and I continue throughout the week with the other series of messages that follow this up. And I said it in the previous Deja Vu series on Facebook, and I think I added to my YouTube channel, which is The Hidden Tears of Black Male. But if you like what you heard, share it with other people, comment on it, and like it. So I was thinking, I said, wow, I need to share my thoughts. I did not have the television camera or millions of dollars or well-known talk show or TV host or anything. I was just me. There are a lot of people out there just like me, having ideas, having belief, is not thinking like other people. And we have a voice. And when sometimes we speak up, we are called different. You know the drill. Being a black person, you're told to go to college, be the best you can be, and you get in that, you get your degree, and you put in a position of authority over other black individuals. They start calling you Uncle Tom, a sellout, think you better, and you know the drill. They say that, and that's the truth. Being a black person, male or female, when you express your belief and feelings, they think that you're trying to talk down against other blacks. No. And one thing I said in many of my videos, I admire there are a lot of black, strong, black female women out there that I admire. I may never met them, but I admire them because they have that inner strength to say what they mean and stand for their cause. They can get 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, or whatever it takes to provide for their children, get a house, get a car, pay their bills, go to work, do all that it takes to provide for their family, and they will speak the truth and will not buckle down. And then they meet some guy, black or white, or whomever it may be, don't have nothing for himself, and he want to live off of that particular female, for sex or say the right thing. Someone sent me something on Facebook called a hobosexual. Well, what is a hobosexual? It's a black male. It could be a woman that will enter that person's life, tell them certain things that the woman want to hear. Baby, can I move in with you? She let him come in. Then the clothes come in. They live together, have sex together, do whatever it takes. That's it, a hobosexual, because he has no home of his own. He stayed with his homeboys, bouncing around from family to family members. So he's a hobosexual. He's giving sex to the woman. He don't want to be homeless, so he's staying there for that particular purpose. And that's a wow, that's interesting. It's a phrase, look it up, called hobosexual. So I admire these black women out there when I have looked through YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, and I see they speaking the truth. They are actually speaking the truth that 1 plus 1 is 2. They're calling the brothers on the carpet. They're saying they're saying the truth in all. They're not their conversation. Their topic is not centered on black and white, us and them. It's listen, listen, do what best. And I thought about it before I logged on. I say, imagine in the slavery days, black slaves woke up, experienced all kind of punishment that you and I cannot even conceive and imagine other than looking at the pictures and lynching and whatever. And it's gruesome and it makes you sad. And I'm quite sure they want to hear a positive message that will cause them to go, wow, you know, one day I will be free. If I die, one day I'll be looking toward freedom, not a bunch of, us against them and them against us. Because when you start us against them, you're dividing yourself. You should have a common cause. Yes, it's good to know history, but tell me all of history. Tell me that white individuals hung, white individual helped blacks escape. Tell me white individual hired blacks from the slave owner. Tell me that other races helped blacks to read and write and set them up and do whatever, because that is history. But when you don't tell me that, then what is your hidden agenda? So when we educate ourselves, when we read books and stuff and study things, we say, wow, I didn't know that. It is sad to be driven by your emotion of what you think and feel, and someone come across your path with truths and facts. Two things gonna happen. Show me the facts, let me read it for myself, and then I will decide. Don't say no, 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 man. That's your belief. I don't even want to agree with it. I don't even want to consider it. That's your opinion. That's wrong. Because when we lock ourselves in one mindset, we cheat ourselves. So what am I saying to you? So when I thought about the black female, I said we don't have a lot of black males that's out there other than the rappers and the role models and the basketball players and I want to be a rapper, I want to be a basketball player, that kind of stuff. You know, we got a few on the talk shows and got their own show. But are they telling us the truth? Are they telling us they may be telling us the truth. They may be telling us the truth, a little bit of sugar coating. They go right to the edge and then turn back around. They don't go way over the line because they don't want to lose their audience. They don't want to get caught for the show. So they pacify their feed. A person that speaks the truth will speak the truth regardless. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. Like say you don't have to come to my channel. You don't have to listen to what I have to say. You can do whatever you want to do, but you're still going to experience the consequences. So when we hear something for the first time, we should consider what is this person saying. So I'm always admiring strong black women who's out there doing something for themselves. And yes, some black males may be afraid of those women that's got strong mind that won't accept sagging pants, below their waist, showing their underwear that match their shoes and think it's cool and say I'm representing, not knowing the history back in the day when slave owners, we quick to say the white man did this, white man did this, do all this kind of stuff that we hearing right now. But what about when the black male was brought out in the middle of a plantation in the middle? Imagine this: he's sitting in a picnic setting, and the slave owner brought him out and make him stand in the middle of on the stump of a tree stump, rip his pants down, and they sodomized him. And everybody took their turn, and they sodomized this black male, and then they made him wear a dress or made him wear his pants below his waist because when he walked through the plantation, people know that they call it bucking. That also is a term. So that person had been bucked by the slave owners, and everybody knew it because they use it to script, they use it to destroy the man's self-esteem, they use it to as fear among the other slaves in the midst of the plantation, and that was done over and over and over. So now we got young brothers and older men are walking around their pants below their waist, saying I'm representing. It's cool. It's good. It's me. That's how I'm. It's me, man. That's how me. I'm representing. I'm not that. But they know the history. Some of them know the history because I've spoken to them and say, oh, that's not me. And you got some that don't even care because they think it's cool and it look nice. You walk through the mall, you see a nice young lady walking with a guy, and you say, wow, that's a pretty girl. And the guy holding his pants with two hands, walking side by side like he's straddling some fence or something, and he got the matching underwear and cool and say, wow. So when we don't educate ourselves, we do things that make us look bad. And then people start associating other behavior with me. I don't wear my pants. I even thought, so maybe I need to wear my pants below my waist. Maybe I need to give messages about, racial type messages or hateful type messages, or maybe I need to stir up my listeners who do follow me, who do listen to me. Maybe I need to convert to, get the likes, get the viral video. Maybe I need to do all this stuff to get people to hear what I have to say. But then that's not me. I'll be pretending. I will be pretending. So we must educate ourselves with facts because we can be taken over. Without knowledge, it's power. When we don't educate ourselves, and I'm thinking, black history in some schools don't allow, some school systems do not allow black history being taught in schools. Research it. I said, what if they taught black history? Are we a race of people have no identity other than being thugs and bums and all this kind of stuff? No. Are we not black because we go to school and get education like a political candidate say, that's running for president say, oh, you ain't black if you vote for the other side. Another celebrity say the people who think different from other blacks are coon, you know, Uncle Tom, sellouts, the term that they use for blacks that's in power, Clarence Thomas, Condoleezza Rice, all these black people that have made it without the help of special privileges and whatever, then the thought should be They should be welcome, but they're not welcome. Martin Luther King said, "Judge me by the contents of my character, not by the color of my skin." Now we have it reversed. Judge me by the color of my skin and not the contents of my character. And it's wrong. And as I was thinking about it, not having even touching my notes, but I'm gonna just go with the flow. We've been having a lot of shootings, a lot of shooting, police shootings. Like I said, I'm a former police officer, and I've seen videos where police officers have done things. I go, wow, why did they do that? Person handcuffed or whatever, whatever. And which made me create a channel on YouTube called Behind the Badge. See what I see behind the badge. So I thought about it. I said, that's wrong. That is absolutely wrong. And what I see police officers do. Yes, we can protest. Yes, we can voice our concern. But violence, looting, rioting, and whatever, what that got to do with the dead victim? You steal a flat screen TV, cigarettes, beer, set things on fire, steal or whatever. How did that help the victim? It only helped you. See, I'm saying it. I saw whites looting on TV. I saw blacks looting on TV. I know outsiders have been bust in to cause problems, to blame it on the black race. All this stuff happens. But when we don't educate ourselves, we think everybody, only one race is doing it, but it's not. Everybody has an agenda. Everyone has an agenda. If I can get you, think about it. If I have a group of people and I want to accomplish a certain goal, I will deceive those group of people to tell them you down for the cause with me. And then when you accomplish my cause, two things are going to happen. I'm going to welcome you in because you helped me, or I'm going to turn around and get rid of you because you done served my purpose. Think before you respond. Which brings me into the book that I wrote called Stay on the Plantation That Benefits Me. Stay on the plantation of my ideas and belief because it benefit me. I deceive you to think that it benefit you. So when you start thinking for yourself and you escape from my plantation of ideas and belief, how did I get you back? By whipping you with lies and accusation and make you come back to my plantation ideas and belief. So that's the title of the book. Stay on the plantation that benefits me. Deceiving you, thinking it benefits you, but it benefits me. So when we don't educate ourselves, we can be taken advantage of. So we have all these protests and all these political groups and all the killing and the violent killing on the police and which is wrong. And I had a thought. The thought came to me. In order for I had put this question on Facebook that never got an answer. I said, how do you put out a fire? And no one commented. I said, did they read that question? So if I want to keep a fire burning, I put any kind of fuel on that fire. I put whatever it takes to keep that fire burning. So if you look at the news and look at good or bad news or whatever you be watching, is that fire, good or bad, being fueled for a purpose? Is it being fueled to keep it going, keep it going? It appear to be going out, and then something else. It's like, oh, the barbecue grill fire is going out. Give me that uh, fluid, lighter fluid, and you squeeze the can, go boosh, and then it burns some more. That is what I'm seeing in this society now. That's what I'm seeing. Seeing like when something about to burn out, something come back. So whether it's good or bad, good should be good to point you toward freedom and liberation or whatever you can think. Then you have individual come out and say, "Wow, I don't like what you're saying because yeah, I understand what you're saying, but Black Lives, the Black Lives person, I'm my personal experience. Yes, Black Lives matters, but we talking now about black individuals who've been killed and shot and do whatever by the police. I have nothing wrong with that belief. But when I say Black Lives Matter, am I only saying Black Lives Matter because it only center around the police? People may assume that, but when I throw in the other part, they take offense to it because I've been confronted. Man, we're not talking about that. So because we're not talking about that, brothers and sisters, how many killings have been involved with 3 years old, 10 month, 7 year old kids, any age? Look at Philadelphia, Chicago, Baltimore, Atlanta in the last 48 hours. Black on black crime, killing blacks on blacks. before I logged on, I saw a video where a man was walking in the Bronx, and you see a car. They had a steel frame, and someone had their hand out with a gun, and they killed a person, the black male, walking with his daughter. Did they catch the person? I don't know. Then we have the Atlanta where the black female in the car with her daughter went toward the barricade when it's windy where the incident took place, went beyond the barricade. I think she was making a U-turn or turn around. Two black males shoot in the car and kill her. Do we have to wake up when it happens to our children? Or we say, oh, that's them. We assume that it won't happen to me. Then the young man who was killed in the chop zone when he was shot, the police and the ambulance could not go in because the people would not allow them to go into the community, to that center area, to rescue the young man. So the young man died. The father got on TV and said, I saw these prior to his son being killed. He was listening to this person being killed, that child being killed. He never thought it happened to him. So yes, we can say it would never happen to me, just like that man said it never happened to him. But should we have to experience something happening to us first before we get involved? If you are in a position of authority, or you're in a position to make a difference in somebody's life, should you make that difference to educate? God knows that we're not really getting it in the churches because they don't offend their members, because their members may be part of the problem. Their members might be part of we see on TV. Now they're going around capturing all these videos that people did on those rioting scenes, uploading themselves with TVs and cars and whatever, and they going around snatching them up and arrest them. Is that right? Yes, because they committed a crime. So when the church remain quiet and not speaking the truth, and God gonna bring your husband or wife or a car and give me your money, I'm gonna get that and this return, that kind of stuff that appease the people because they don't want to offend the person, then people gonna think it's okay. So being me, say what I say, I ain't white. I'm sorry, I ain't black, according to some people. I'm not black, according to some blacks. What do you mean by that? You acting white. You think you're white. You talking white. Don't let you be a light skinned person. You're gonna hear that too. So yes, we hear it all the time from our own race. But when we, as myself and some black females, speak the truth about our behavior, we are attacked because we are oftentimes we are sellout. All black individuals do not think alike. We may look black on the outside, but till we open our mouth, we reveal the table of contents within our mind. So we begin to think. So I started thinking, and I saw something before I logged on. I was thinking because I read someone on the Facebook page, and I say, and I wrote it out in my notes. Political leaders, religious leaders, and those who say they speak for us have gotten on TV, have gone to different cities to say, speak their piece about the violence. That's right. I have no problem with that. But when there's killings and shootings, all this bad shooting in the last week or so before July the 4th, where are they now? Do I hear they going to that community? Are they going to Atlanta? Are they going to Chicago? Going to Philadelphia? Going to Baltimore? Are they going to your city? Are they going to say, we as a race of people need to stop shooting and killing one another? It's not like the mayor say, enough is enough. It's not the police officer pulling the trigger. If you have a gun in your house, if you know somebody has a gun, you look at that gun. The gun does not get up on its own and come and chase and say, oh, I think I'm going to go kill me a black. I'm going to kill me a police officer. I'm going to kill this woman. I'm going to kill this girl. I'm going to kill this 10-year-old. The gun does not say that. It's the person who pick up the gun with the thought because he or she had decided that 1 plus 1 is not 2. 1 plus 1 is 3, and I'm going to get them back because they dissed me. They didn't represent me the right way. So I'm going to represent myself. I used to work in a maximum security prison, and I met individuals that's never getting out. I met individuals have never touched a cell phone, have never eaten a certain kind of food that we at Liberty right now, never touch an iPad, living in a square room, 10 by 10 if you can call it that, or living in a dormitory. You don't hear, it's like the book I wrote, The Hidden Tears of Black Male. Very rarely you see black males crying in prison because that's a sign of weakness. They may cry in the shower, they may cry when they cover their face up, they may cry when they're off by themselves. So being in prison for the rest of your life, you representing and them same homeboys that you hung up with, do they come to you and give you money, put money in your account? Are they friends? Some of your family members don't even come visit you, but you representing, and you're gonna go down for the cause, for to live the rest of your life in a maximum security prison. If you got the death chair, or you're just living it for the rest of your life, sleeping with one eye open because someone girlfriend. I experienced and saw that going on too. So we need to educate. So if these things that I'm saying, if being taught in schools, or being taught through organization, or being taught from those who say they speak for us, imagine how we can change. We are a powerful race of people. We have money. We have money. We have power. We have influence. But we so self-divided within ourselves, we don't want to come together. I don't want to shop at this black store because they're gonna get rich before I get rich. So I'm not going there. I go down the street. Our thinking is wrong. We need to begin to wake up. I perceive that a black awakening gonna occur. It's gonna happen. A black awakening when people begin to wake up and say, wait a minute, I have been asleep. I have been blind. I have been deaf. And now I have awakened. In order for anything to turn around, we must accept the truth. We can lie all the time. We can deceive each other. We can do whatever it takes to get our way. But the truth will prevail. So, getting back to the thought. So, where are those black leaders who say they speak for us? I have not seen on TV or heard in the news that so and so is going to Atlanta, Chicago, and Baltimore, just like they did for to uh, the police officer. I put on my Facebook page, where's the outrage? Where are the outrage? Where are the outrage? Not an outrage of rioting and looting and stealing and setting things on fire. An outrage of enough is enough. But you know and I know, but if it happens to you, you gonna want the police to come to the rescue to arrest the person who killed your child. If it's not your child, let them do it on their own. That's their business. I'm not getting involved. You who in the sound of my voice that know so and so committed this killing or shooting or whatever, I always give my condolences when I see stuff like that, on putting my Facebook page. My condolences go to the friend and the family members. I don't have to see them or know them because I'm sad because I have children too. You have children. You may want to have children in the future. Just like I mentioned the black slaves in the past, I'm quite sure they wanted to hear positive, instructive, this going to change. We're going to have to endure, but it's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. Sitting on the back of the bus, going to stop, going into certain restroom. I remember my age, I live in Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia. There's a store, still it's not in the scene. It was Crest down on Broughton and Bonnet. They had a black and white section. When you went to the counter, you had to actually, you saw a sign, black on it and white on it. So I did live through a certain part of that when I was growing up, but I didn't allow it to make me to hate. I could have grown up hating, hate. How can someone who be a full-blown racist turn around and pretend to be not a racist today? They might pretend to get their purpose, but they're gonna come out. If they have no past of being a racist, black or white or Chinese or whomever, then why do we say they are racist? Because saying someone is racist or sexist or speaking the truth leads to divide the people. So I was thinking we as individuals need to come to understand, like I said, wow, it must be it must be the truth that we must hear. We must hear the truth to set us free. And the only way you can set yourself free is to hear the truth and accept the truth. And I haven't even got in my notes. And I was thinking, there will be a black awakening. When it comes, I don't know. Can it be stopped by others? Nope. It's going to happen. It's going to be a black awakening. Black awakening for good. For good. And those who do not want to be a part of that because they have their own self-interest in mind, they're going to be moved over. They're going to just be pushed off to the side. We should not be a race of people dividing within ourselves, killing one another, being used by whomever. Don't tell me that the white man is the only one using black people. Don't tell me the white man is the only one have slaves. Don't tell me that without telling me it's also on the other side. Even as I speak today, there are black individuals in other parts of the country that are in some form of slavery. There are some people in this country right now under sexual slavery, has been kidnapped, brought into different races of people. We see it on the news all the time. They busted a child trafficking ring, or they bust a slavery ring when people are brought from India, different parts of the country, and they had to work for nothing. So slavery does exist. But when we, me, and other people refuse to speak out, nothing happens. We think everybody think alike. When it's a quote I put on my face. So when we allow evil to, when we allow, when good men, I'm paraphrasing, when good men keep their mouth shut, they allow evil to triumph. When we who see injustice are in a position to help, to cause a change, keep our mouth closed because we say we let somebody else do it, then it will continue on. It will continue on and on and on. So I thought about it, I said, wow, we need to have a spiritual awakening. A spiritual awakening toward the truth. A lot of us are blind, though we can see. We deaf, though we can hear. But there will, you can mark this day that Anthony said, there will come a time there will be a spiritual awakening among the black race. This is not in my notes. It just came to me. It can get worse, but an awakening gonna come. Awakening gonna come. And those religious leaders who say they speak for us, those who empower who they say they speak for us, you will know them when the awakening come. Because they're gonna do two things. They're gonna agree with you. They might agree with you to ride the bandwagon for their own self-centered interest, or they're gonna agree with you and say about time. So I was thinking. So back to this particular book here. This is the book I wrote in 2012, before the foundation, the formation of Black Lives Matter. This is my title, From the Eyes of a Cop, Black Lives Matter. And in this particular book, which I'll get into, this book here, I wrote it. It's on Amazon. But back when I wrote it, have I sold anything on that? No, I have not sold the book. Not of my books. I have not been doing a lot of advertising. But this particular book that I just showed you, I'm giving away free. I have it online. I upload the whole thing PDF and I copy it online. And when I finish this series message, you will have the liberties. It's a lot. I did a lot of copy and paste. I even called a librarian in Washington, I think Baltimore, Maryland, and asked him permission to put a quote. And he said I can use the quote. Even I can use the quote so long I mention where I got it from. So did a lot of research. It has a lot of factual information that you can do your own homework. You can say, "Oh, Anthony, that's your opinion." How can something be my opinion or your opinion? And we can go to the nearest library, the nearest governmental website, or resource of information and find that one plus one is two. So one plus one is two is not my opinion, it's the facts. So in this book contains a lot of factual information. It may rub you the wrong way. You may get mad, you may not like it, but it's the facts. When we disregard the facts, when we don't understand the facts, when we refuse to accept the facts, and we are driven by our own emotions, our own sense of well-being, our own sense of understanding, then we run into a problem of the highway or my way. So I don't want to keep on talking because I want to keep it down to less than 30 something minutes or give or take. But what I just shared with you is not even in my notes. It just come out. So the next message I will get into this book, and I promise you, you're going to hear things in this book And what I have on my desk right now is gonna make you go, wow, I did not know that. And why? I found out because I had to. I got tired of hearing things and I wanted to know more. Not to say I have a college degree or I'm a doctorate, I got a PhD and I'm this and that. No. I want to know information for myself. And then when I found out the information, I want to be in a position one day to be able to share what I learned, to inspire, to encourage, to let someone know that you don't have to look at the color of your skin and say you cannot. Quit looking at the color of your skin in the mirror or your hand, or look at the color of skin and another person say, like my niece sent me, say, don't don't look at you, don't look at someone else for you. I forgot how the phrase go. Don't look. I'm paraphrasing. Don't look at somebody else and see yourself in them. Look at you and see what you can be, what you can accomplish, and what it takes to accomplish. You may have to die to some of the friends that you hang out with. You may be in a situation that, to, I won't say no fault of your own, because we all are responsible for what we get ourselves into. We just have to experience what we're going through, and then we hear, you know, a message. And the thought, I'm gonna close with this thought. This is a true event. A white female is walking, I forgot what city, and she saw a homeless man. I found out he was on homeless for 16 years. 16 years homeless, black man, 50 years old, homeless. His sisters, I'm giving as I watch this. Later on, a white female walked up to him, saw him sitting on the sidewalk, gave him a sandwich, and went to her pocketbook and gave him the change. Days later, she went in the pocketbook and she discovered that her wedding ring, and I'm sorry, engagement ring, that was a hand-me-down heirloom from generation to generation. She's, where did I lose this ring? And she remembered that she went in her pocketbook and gave her chain to this man. And she was distraught, distraught. As the story go on, she went back to the spot looking for the man, looking for the man, looking for the man, and did not find him. She told her husband, he said, well, go back. So she went back to the man, and he said, is this what you're looking for? He gave it back to her. But that's not the end of the story. That man had took the ring to the jury, and he said, we give you $4,000 for this ring. Black man had a white woman ring, homeless for 16 years, on the streets, begging for money, had a cup, didn't know when he'd get his next meal, is confronted with $4,000 for that ring. But in his heart, he said, I could not do that because that was not me. That was not me. So the woman welcomed the ring back. So she saw me do something for him. So she started GoFundMe account. She shared her story. His story went viral. He got thousands and thousands of dollars. The goal was to get like $1,000. I think if I'm correct, they got more like 90,000 or in the $50,000 for this man. But it didn't stop there. They went back to him, and he saw, I mean, his family, his sister, who thought he was dead, didn't know where he was, saw him on TV, and they had a reunion with his sisters and brother and the family members. They thought he was dead. He was smart enough to say, I need to get me a lawyer and invest this money because I know what it takes to have money, to not have it. He bought him a car, a Volkswagen convertible. He found him a place to stay. Simple life. He valued the money. He was repaid for his honesty. So what's my point? When we step out, when we maintain our character, who we are, it pays off. It may not pay off when we want to pay off, but it will eventually pay off. And that's a true story. You can Google man return rings or something like that. You see it's a black man with beard with a hat on. True story. True story. What would you do if you were faced with a situation like that? God knows that some people sell a ring, full time. Well, that's her thought. That's a mistake. I just go to another corner. She don't know who I am. I can say it wasn't me. We can find all reason to justify to keep the ring. But even if he had kept the ring, knowing it was not him, he would have stopped his blessing that was waiting for him. 16 years on the homeless streets, no home, wondering when he will get money for the next meal. That is the fact, and that is the truth. We need to hear a lot of there are a lot of truth and factual stories, but do we hear it on the news? No, we hear the doom and gloom. When we start hearing positive news that individuals, this is a black man, he did not say, "Oh, that's a white woman." They did a lot to my ancestor. She, you know, what goes around come around. He could have said anything, but he said it wasn't him. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. And the young man that killed the child that was killed in Atlanta, the father got up and said, "You killed my daughter. My child is black. You killed one of your own." He did not expect his daughter to be killed. The man who was in the trap zone did not expect his daughter to be killed. A lot of the guy who walking in New York in the Bronx did not expect to be killed. As in the sound of my voice, somebody has been killed. But where are the voices that say enough is enough? Those who say they speak for us that can make a difference on TV, on radio, in office, in power. Where are those who say they speak for us? In my next broadcast, you're going to hear those who say they speak for us do not speak for us. And that is the truth. And it will be factual information to show you that don't want you to know. But you and I know what I share is informational purpose, information educational. What you do with it is totally up to you. You can disregard what I say. You can say I'm crazy, I'm fool, and who are you to tell me this? You can't. I can't make you do nothing. All I can just say, this is what I found out. So I have peace. If I touch one person out of the viewers who watch that say they're going to share it with other people and they're going to comment and they like what I said, if it passes on, it passes on, it passes on, then that's fine. If it don't, I touch one person, I've done my job. It's not about me. Yes, it can be about me many times over. Oh yeah, I wish I had a viral video. I wish I had thousands of likes. I wish I was famous. I wish I had a lot of money. Yeah, I thought those things, but my purpose had to be brought back into perspective. Why am I doing this? The labor I put in, the financial reward will come back to me one day. If it don't come back, I have done my job. A lot of us are married, not me. A lot of us have people are married, have children, and they like that lifestyle, and that's fine. But there's others of us out there that have a purpose in life. So if you like what you heard, share it with other individuals. Subscribe. You can go to my YouTube channel. You can type in thoughts in the AM, or you can go to the Hidden Tears of a Black Male, or you can hit on Behind the Bass, see what I see. But if you go to the Hidden Tears of a Black Male and hit the video section, I promise you see something you like. So thank you. The day is Tuesday. I will post when I be back on. It will be again this week. I may wrap it up depending on my notes that I have before me that I haven't even touched, or what I have in this book that you will be given a free copy that you can download. It's copyrighted. The whole book is on when I give you the link to where you can find it. You're going to find the book and you can read it for yourself. Factual information, even the back page, I have references where I got this information. You can even Google it and do your own research, and you can find out that, hey, I didn't know this happened. Hmm, that's why I see why they're doing what they're doing. And when I read this book and I saw the news in the last 48 hours, there's a bunch of chapters in this book you will think I wrote it in the last week or so. I'm not bragging on me. I'm not puffing myself up. I'm just simply saying there's a lot of chapters in this book that you would think I wrote last week, but I wrote it in 2012. And then I said, is there an ending to all of this? Maybe there's an ending. Maybe there's a conclusion. Maybe there's a good conclusion within this book. So you will hear, I will go through certain chapters and you have it for yourself. You can share it with other people. You can give them a link. You can give them the link and let them hear, read what you read. But it will make you think. You would think I wrote it for such a time as this, but it came out from the eyes of a cop, Black Lives Matter. I was talking about all Black Lives Matter back in 2012 before the organization of Black Lives Matter was founded. And now we hearing in the news stuff that I have put in this book. So thank you. It's my prayer that I'll be back again. God willing, I wish you everyone well. Thank you.